Hey everybody, One Wisdom here. It is Saturday, May 25th, early morning here, probably 3 something. I've got round 6 results going up. First thing I need to cover, uh, I'm liable to lose my voice during this. I've not felt well. Basically, swallowing is very painful. So, my apologies on that. I kind of sound a little different because of it. Hopefully, it takes care of itself pretty soon. Uh, Number 2, Chase McCain somewhere out here. The spots always seem good, and then I stand up tall where the camera is, and it's not that great. But anyway, if you find him, feel free to post up. Uh, Thanks for voting the round 6 results. Again, that'll be the video uploaded right before this one. This will be round 7. You can find the polls on the right-hand side of the blog, oneofwisdom.blogspot.com. They will be just below the Twitter feed. Essentially, the way it stacks up, Warnado will be round 7-1, then Wham-Shell hosts the round 7-8 matchup. You can come in, vote for your favorite. Again, I want you to factor in not just like a battle mode scenario, but do you actually like the character? You know, I mean, we'll just say that you hate Hot Dog, or you happen to have your favorite Skylander as Voodooed. You know, factor that in, and you know, you'd vote for Voodooed in that case. Similarly, you know, if you can't decide between Camo and Flashwing, you know, go ahead, break it down. Which upgrade path do you like better? Which character do you think looks better aesthetically? Who are you better with in story mode? You know, again, don't just limit it to battle mode. Again, I know this is called a poll battle, but the idea is, you know, you kind of take everything into consideration here and kind of use that to formulate your opinion. I had some really good matchups last time. Again, I called the one that I thought would be the tightest, our marquee. Saw Wham-Shell take out Pop Fizz. This time around, let me skim everything here. Fright Rider Warnado, I think, could be interesting. Flashwing and Camo, I honestly think would be pretty awesome. Don't You know, Fright Rider Warnado could actually be pretty tight. Camo Flashwing, I don't think that'll happen. Pretty sure I know what's going to happen there, but it might be closer than some think. The really big one here is going to be Ghost Roaster versus Pop Fizz. I'll go ahead and label that our marquee matchup for round 7. Skimming everything, what I think will be the biggest blowout, I would probably say Wham-Shell and Sprocket. Again, I won't direct you which way I think everyone's going to go. But I'd see that probably coming out just based on what we've seen so far. Although, it could be another one. But again, I don't like to lead people on. I don't really give my opinions here. I do that in the results video. So if you're curious about who I would personally select in each matchup, tune in for the results video. Again, the way I set these up, and the reason, you know, poll numbers are lower, like we'll see maybe 15 or 20 votes instead of like 60 or 80, it's just because I'm limiting these to 1 week. You know, obviously we'd get more, you know, higher numbers, more people involved if I left it open longer. But the goal is to kind of get it done in a timely manner, you know, so I figured 1 week apiece, there's at least 8 rounds of this. That's 2 months, and, you know, it gives everybody something to look forward to. So again, thanks to those that vote. If you have not voted, you're seeing this for the first time, take the blog link in the video description box. It'll actually take you back to the archive. You can see exactly how Ghost Roaster is undefeated. You can see, you know, how close Chill's been to victory, etc. But we're going to go ahead here. I'm probably going to try to do this really quick so I don't lose my voice. Our round 1 match, you know, essentially round 1. First matchup in round 7, we'll go with that one. Castaway Warnado from the Air Element buzzes in at 4-2. Meanwhile, Fright Rider from the Undead Element, he's been on a little bit of a downward spurt here. He comes in at 2-4. Again, I think this one could be pretty tight. I know our marquee matchup ought to be pretty close. I'll go ahead and I'll just pick this one. I think I'll go ahead on record and say that I think this might have the tightest margin of victory. We'll see if I'm right. But again, pick your favorite. Warnado versus Fright Rider. Our next matchup. These are two that I actually think would kind of match up pretty well. just they have similar projectile attacks, kind of defensive base, particularly chill. But we have the Earth Element Castaway Dino-Rang. He comes in with a 4-2 record, just like Warnado. He is taking on Chill. She comes in surprisingly at 0-5. I'm sorry, 0-6 now. So again, we've got Earth versus Water. Go ahead, and I think I said ice earlier. I don't know, but I'm tired at this point in time, in addition to not feeling well. But like I said, in all honesty, I kind of think these two stack up pretty well against each other. So, vote for your favorite, see who comes out on top. Our next matchup, we have the Fire Element Castaway Sunburn. He is also entering this match at 4-2. Similar to Chill, we have Jet-Vac coming in winless at 0-6. These two, again, I mean, I don't think it's going to be, super tight or anything. But, I mean, if you were just to look at these, Sunburn versus Jet-Vac, it's a pretty interesting matchup. Pretty sure I know which way people are going to take this one. But, we'll let the polls be what they may and go from there. Our next matchup, we'll continue. Actually, we won't. I was going to say we'd continue the winless trend. I got so used to that after 5-6 rounds. But if you recall last time against Voodoo, Flashwing notched her first victory. She comes in 1-5, the Earth Element Newlander. Again, she has performed very well. She's actually gotten a little bit more competitive each round, it seems like. Then, on the flip side, we have Camo. He's been an absolute beast in this thing. He comes in 5-0-1. He has that tie with Pop Fizz. Really, in battle mode, this would be a epic showdown, in my opinion. You've got Camo. I mean, he's devastatingly brutal, and then you've got Flashwing with very good projectiles. She can use the super spinner to kind of get away quick if need be. Plus, she's got that plus 40 armor working for her. Similar story. I mean, the same way they'd match in battle mode, they kind of have the same things going for them in story mode. I know there's a lot of the dragon people, in Skylanders. This is going to be a tough one for a lot of you having to pick between these two, but again, I think I know how it's going to pan out, but I do personally think that's a very intriguing matchup. This next one, we had Voodoo and Boomer came in on tears. They entered the round 6 at 3-2. Both lost round 6, but that puts them at 500. Nonetheless, Magic Element Castaway Voodoo comes in 3-3. He is going up against the Ultra Hot Dog, who comes in at 5-1. Again, his only loss coming to the undefeated Ghost Roaster. Pretty sure I know which way people are going to take this one. Not really much else to say there, but we'll see what the vote totals do. Again, that's why it's critical everybody votes. Tell your friends about it. Get as many people involved as possible. That way we have the best sample we can get, and we'll see what happens and document the results. Take it from there. Next matchup. This one's fairly interesting to me. I feel like Shroom Boom is almost in the same position as Boomer was last time. The only reason I hesitate in that, Sprocket I could kind of see, since she is Tech Element. But, anytime you go short of the Light Core, which even when the few times it's been stocked, it doesn't seem to go, but kind of feel like Shroom Boom is underappreciated at this point in Giants, similar to the way Voodoo and Boomer were last time around. I could totally see out of the 8 Newlanders, I'd probably say Shroom Boom and Sprocket would probably be the most likely candidates to kind of be our Boomer and Voodoo, if you will. Again, basically what I mean by that is they were kind of shelf warmers. They didn't sell as well as the other characters. That said, the people that actually bought them, played them, and didn't just stop when they weren't content with what they saw initially, upgraded them, found that they were pretty cool characters. It's pretty much the case with everyone, but again, kind of more so with those two since they were just kind of so downtrodden last time around. Again, I kind of see that, like I said, with those two, but that's why this matchup is interesting to me. It's kind of like Boomer and Sprocket, I feel like they have like the same pedigree going in terms of their fan base and support and everything. Of course, it's worked out well for Boomer. He's insanely hard to find. People pay a ton of money for him, and finally, it didn't take too terribly long, but I mean, a little before Giants, as people were kind of looking for things to do, I think more upgraded him and realized he was a pretty good character. I feel like we'll probably see that with Shroom Boom. I think is may not be as flashy, as some of the other Newlanders, but I think when people take the time to upgrade him, they'll realize he's kind of a unique and brings something to the table. Boomer again comes in 3-3, Tech Element Castaway. Shroom Boom winless at 0-6, just like Jet-Vac and Chill. I think I know what people are going to do here. I would probably do the same thing, but nonetheless, kind of an intriguing matchup just because of the background story. This next one is going to be intense, in my opinion, and for good reason. We have the insanely popular Pop Fizz. Still waiting on his light core version here in the U.S. He comes in at 4-1-1. Again, he tied with Camo, and then, believe it or not, he was actually defeated by Wham-Shell in the previous round. I kind of didn't expect that based on the stats we'd seen. I personally would have taken Pop Fizz over Wham-Shell, but nonetheless, Wham-Shell continues to have a rabid fan base. But Pop Fizz, again, 4-1-1. The loss to Wham-Shell, the tie with Camo. Faces off. That's a nice angle there as he came in the camera against Ghost Roaster. Ghost Roaster is right now our only true undefeated character. If you recall, when Blogger kind of lost the votes and everything, he was tied with Hot Dog. I left those up for a reason. They've gotten everything restored, I think, for the most part. I mean, there were some polls that had like 300-400 votes. They seem to be back. The ones in the hundreds and 200s feel pretty content with. But the way it panned out, he actually did in fact beat Hot Dog. Like I had seen, I've left it up. I'll get him screen capped and the results for you. But he again comes in at 6-0. That basically means that, if we ever do the Camo versus Pop Fizz tiebreaker, if Pop Fizz were to take down Camo, Ghost Roaster would currently remain the only winless. However, if Camo were to take down, undefeated. But if Camo were to take down Pop Fizz in the tiebreaker, Camo and Ghost Roaster currently would be undefeated. But nonetheless, two juggernauts in this tournament. Again, 4-1-1, very respectable, particularly when you tie Camo, who, as I said, if not for that, would have a perfect 6-0 mark. And then Ghost Roaster. He is not dead. He's not going anywhere. The guy is on a tear, as always. Obviously, I assume people appreciate Skullmaster. But 6-0, again, this is the marquee matchup, in my opinion. Very excited to see how this one pans out. So definitely be sure to vote in this one. Remember, we've had several of these where we'll have maybe, say, 35 votes in every poll. And then there's a tough one like this. Maybe these are two of your favorite characters and you don't vote and it winds up with 34. You essentially could have been the deciding factor there. So keep that in mind. Again, Pop Fizz versus Ghost Roaster. Our final round 7 matchup. I'm surprised I'm able to talk right now. I will go on record, and I could be wrong here, but I will say that I think this one will be the biggest landslide. Again, I won't tell you which direction I think it'll go. But we have Sprocket from the Tech Element coming in at 1-5. She is taking on Wham-Shell. He comes in very, very respectable 5-1. His only loss came to Hot Dog. Take your pick. See what happens. We do know Sprocket will be back in Swap Force for what it's worth. I guess this is a good time to bring that up. But again, Wham-Shell, Sprocket, cast your vote, see who comes out on top. That's our final matchup. So, just to recap the marquee matchup, we have Ghost Roaster, who is currently undefeated at 6-0, squaring off against the Magic Element Newlander. Pop Fizz comes in 4 wins, 1 loss, a tie with Camo. Matchup I think will be the tightest. I'm going to go ahead. I think the marquee is going to be close, but I'll go ahead and say Fright Rider, Warnado. Those two seem to have pretty steady followers. Again, the one I think will be the biggest blowouts on the opposite side here, Sprocket and Wham-Shell. unique element there between Shroom Boom and Boomer. Camo and Flashwing, that would actually be a very cool uh, match. I mean, I could see that one being tied as well. Um, and again, me personally, I kind of think Jet-Vac Sunburn is an interesting duel, and then similarly, Chill and Dino-Ring, they're just kind of similar defense projectile type players. So, pretty good matches, I think, this time around. Again, the polls can be found on the right-hand side of the blog, just below the Twitter feed. You can vote one time. Again, they're open for a week. I'll basically close them 11:59 next Friday night. And I think, they do that Pacific time, even though you change your time zone. But I may move that up to 9:59 Pacific time, and then that way I can, maybe record this at midnight to 1 instead of, 3:30 in the morning. That would be nice. But I realize it's Saturday, not have to get up early for work or anything, but still, when you don't feel well, the extra sleep would be appreciated. Nonetheless, like I said, I think we've got some good ones here. Feel free to post up again if you see Chase McCain. More importantly, once you voted, feel free, YouTube's comments section, the blogger, Google Plus, Facebook, whatever works for you. Feel free to post up which ones you pick, what you're upset about from the last time around, what you can't believe, what your favorite matchups would be here. And like I said, tell your friends about it and get them to cast their votes. Again, the more people we have involved, the better these will be and the more exciting, in all honesty. So questions, comments, you can ask here on YouTube for a much quicker response. Use the blog link at the top of the video description box. I hit the blog every night for you, barring something crazy. You can follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, circle me on Google Plus, whichever you prefer. Again, my apologies about my voice. I'd say I've done pretty well to not completely lose it throughout this time span. But that's pretty much it. This will be round 7. Again, you got a week to cast your votes. Act fast, tell your friends, and I'll catch you back here for round 7 results and our round 8, which will be the final round of at least this initial run through. There may be more expansive. We may enter into a playoff bracket scenario. I don't know, but essentially at this point in time, Warnado has stayed here in the 1 slot, slide everyone over. He will actually be squaring off against Chill next time. And of course, he began with Jet-Vac, so you get the idea of the flow here. And like I said, that'll kind of complete it. Then we can kind of, baseline the stats, who's 8-0, who's 0-8, etc. Kind of build up a bracket, or have some other things in mind. It'll kind of depend, I guess, on what everyone would prefer. But stay tuned for that. Again, cast your votes, have some fun with it. Thanks to everyone that has voted, and I will catch you back here next Friday.